Okay, this week let's cover something that I recently was made aware of, or kind of noticed, which was it's to do with trying and succeeding and failing, and I think over time when it comes to everyone's own self-development kind of journey, what you notice is that a lot the failures change in nature, and I think that's something that I recently kind of came to terms with. But something I recently tried to have a go at and try. So let's have a chat about that. So essentially, I guess the point of what this video is trying to be about is to, obviously prompt you to continue trying on your efforts when it comes to, developing yourself and, your own self-development journey and things like that. Because when I started out, it very much could be framed, my actions and my efforts could very much be framed between, the aspect of either it succeeded or it failed. But then even if it failed, I would kind of perceive it as, it was an attempt, we're moving in the right direction, even though it didn't work out this time, it will eventually. And I think that is a good positive mindset to kind of be in, because it goes in alignment with just the recent blog post I put up about, the inner voice of the parent and as opposed to the inner voice of the best friend. And if you haven't seen that, go check that out on the blog website. But what I've noticed, like early on, the failures themselves could be still classified, broadly in an objective sense as still being failures. In the instance of, let's say, like going for a job or something, like this is right at the beginning of my my self-development journey. Either the success would be I did get the job, or the failure would be didn't get the job. Pretty clear cut. But you'd still perceive it as experience. But I feel like the longer I've been doing this self-development and the more attempts and tries I've had, I've slowly been able to build up successes and lay them as a foundation on top of one another as the years and months have gone by. They kind of just have built up on one another. And it's weird because it almost has gotten to this point that I've observed where it's like, even if I try at something or, attempt something or necessarily what it may be, like every time I'm going on to that next endeavor or whatever it necessarily will be, yeah, there's still that success option of like where it all just kind of works out. But then even the failures, like, they're not even necessarily failures anymore. Like, that it's shifted, because just to give you a recent example, and this is what's kind of prompted it for me. And so this is after about let's say 5 or 6 years, into this kind of journey for myself, is I went for a job was promoted to me, and some people said I should kind of apply for it, so I did. And the thing about it was, if I got the job, then that's okay. Obviously then I get the job and that's a success onto itself. But even if I didn't get the job, I would still then be put onto a talent pool within the organization. It's still within the Ministry of Health, but which is where I work at the moment. But with this new job, right, or the job that I was going for, it's even if I wasn't successful in the application or overall assessment for the role, I would be put onto a talent pool, which is this thing, which is like all these vetted candidates, which essentially just makes it infinitely easier to find another role. Like maybe, okay, you didn't get that one, but you'll find it, you'll be able to find another role through the talent pool. Something will come up, and then because you're a vetted candidate, it's very much easier for you to kind of get brought in and kind of get another role. So that was what the observation for me was. It's like, yeah, either I win and I succeed and get the role, or worst case scenario, it's like I get put onto a talent pool where it's just going to make it unbelievable, much more easier for me to get a role, at some point later on. You can't classify either one as a failure, and it's not even necessarily saying, oh, well, you had the experience of being able to go through, another, you got more interview experience, it's not even doing that framing technique, which is still, I think, a valid and good thing to do, especially, very much early on when you're not at this, I think, not to brag, but at this stage in your journey, where even the failures to a lot of other people would be straight up successes. And I think this is just a perpetual thing. Like, the further you go on and the more you kind of go at it, the better the successes get, but the better the failures are too. It's just like, it's almost like the consolation prize. It's like, it's not necessarily bad. It's like getting the silver at the Olympics. It's like, yeah, you didn't get the gold, which, you know, obviously is what everyone's after. But I mean, getting silver, it's like, to be number 2 in the world, it's like, damn, that's still got its own perks, you know what I mean? So I guess that's what I'm trying to get across. And look, obviously people, you know, anyone who's watching this would be at different stages of that journey, because maybe you watching are already at that stage, similar to kind of like, you know, me, who is just kind of like going like, yeah, like what I'm faced with is either nothing but successes, or I'm faced with, you know, worst case scenarios, even still, like, you know, maybe not grand jackpot wins, but it's like still major prize wins. So it's like, dang, you know, at that point it's really nothing but up. And I guess that kind of relates back to one of those things, or one of those core principles of this kind of whole field, or of this whole kind of like, you know, school of thought, which is that whole idea of you're either spiraling up or you're spiraling down. So early on, yeah, like you haven't got, you know, got enough momentum going for it to be, you know, like I said, either, you know, jackpot wins or just, you know, major wins. It is kind of either you get a major win, or you kind of just get the, you know, the experience, or, you know, the extra understanding and context of things. But, you know, you keep it going long enough, yeah, it definitely makes it. So, you know, wherever you are, if you're starting out, or if you feel like you're only like you're on your way there, just know that, like, stick at it, because there are nothing but good things coming. Like, I know you can't see it, but it's coming. And like, even someone like me, it's like, there are things that I didn't like that have happened in like the past 12 months that I did not plan for at all. Like, there was no way for me to know how it was coming, but it's just one of those things. It just, when the time is right, you know, it strikes, and blessings on blessings, you know what I mean? So keep at it, stay motivated, and, you know, obviously everyone gets their times where they feel a little bit despair and they're not sure if it's all working out, but like, no, stick at it, because you look back, if you just keep going at it for 5 years, you know, like, and you look back years later and you'll be like, you know what, it was all worth it. And I think that to myself every day. I'm like, I just can't believe it. It's like, this shit actually works, and here I am, and I'm just like so grateful for that. And well, I hope it gives you something to think about, and, you know, and gives you the encouragement to keep on going. But I'll see you soon. Bye.